Right, so here we've got Bruce Winfield's M4. He's brought this in to us for a fully homologated FIA spec T45 welding cage. He's an incredible driver, Bruce. He's got a lot of accolades behind him. And he's brought this to us because when it comes to T45 cages, there's quite a few people out there that do them. There's not a lot of people that do them right. To get them fully homologated, they need to go through an FIA force testing process. This makes sure that it is completely strong enough to be able to withstand the weight of the car in a crash. Building CDS cages to homologated spec is a lot easier because that's a specification material. It basically just needs to go through a process where they check the dimensions of the cage, make sure it's up to specification, and it can go through. But because T45 isn't a specification material, it needs to go through that force testing procedure. So as you can see, Bruce is going all out on taking stuff out. He's cut out a lot of the non-essential bracketry from inside of the car and some of the internal panels that will be sort of replaced by parts of the cage. So this is going to be compounded with the weight saving of the T45 cage because the weight he's managed to take out so far is about 30 kilos. The full weight of the homologated T45 cage is going to be about 38 kilos. So his net increase on top of that is 8 kilos from the standard car to where we're going to be once we've fitted the full cage. On top of that as well, the cage is going to tie into structural points within the car and it's going to further increase the stiffness. Now, a lot of the prescriptions within T45 cages don't get met by a lot of people that make these cages. Door bar gusset sizes, fully regulated. All of the bar positions are fully regulated by the FIA. So if you're getting a T45 cage made and it doesn't have an FIA certificate with it and it doesn't have any sort of certification behind it, it's not been done properly. So what this shows here, this is a torsional stiffness test that I've done. We can apply a force to the front of the cage which sort of mimics the twist of the chassis through cornering, and it shows us how stiff the cage is going to be, how much stiffness it's going to be able to add to the car. One thing that we do with all of the cages that we design, T45 and non-T45, is we put them through a stiffness analysis and a force analysis. Obviously with T45 cages, if they're getting homologated, they need to go through an external process because with it being a non-spec material, they need to check that it's going to pass all of the force tests that FIA require. But we do all of our in-house work as well to make sure that it's going to pass those tests. Also with all of the bar layouts and configurations, we maximise the amount of thinner and smaller diameter materials that we can use. This means that we can produce the lightest possible cage while giving you the greatest amount of strength and stiffness. are with the finished product. T45 fully FIA homologated cage. To pass a homologation, the cage needs to be force tested. We do all of this in-house, but it also needs to be checked by an external body. It was sent away, needed no tweaks to it, and here we are. It's made up of a few different dimensions of tube, a few different sizes, some 45, some 38, and some 40 to get it to pass the regulations. Without this, a cage that's made out of T45 isn't eligible to race. Force tests are done using FEA modelling. So in the computer programs, we can apply forces to different places and we can see how the cage is going to react. The FIA specify a few different forces applied to a few different places of the cage, so the cage can't bend more than a certain amount in certain places when a certain force is applied. This cage has passed all of the tests and it's ready for Bruce to take it to the Nürburgring and enter it into whatever series he wants to. If you want the lightest and stiffest cage possible and you want it to be fully homologated and meet all of the championship regulations for T45 cages, then let us know.